and welcome to our Breathe, Move, Rest practice. As we've been exploring the simplest of practices this week as an invitation to remember that it doesn't have to be complicated. It's just about showing up and allowing yourself to be with the breath. To move as your body is hungry to move. Yes, movement is medicine for our body. Breath is medicine for our spirit, as our thoughts and our words are really medicine perhaps for our relationships, a relationship with ourselves and a relationship with each other. This breathe, move, rest practice is just one way to bring together some wise actions to help us not just to sustain our living, but to help enrich it, help us to thrive and know when we're ready to tickle the edge of more effort, of more challenge, perhaps even peeling back the layers to clearer seeing and deeper truth. So let's begin with some breath. Just notice what's here with you in your body and in your mind, in your heart, and in your truth. Your breath has steadied and you can say that you have arrived. Welcome again. We're going to wake up our sensations with a little bit of a high five to ourselves, right? So don't worry about structure or form. You can bring the hands together in front of you or join me with a up above. Bring the hands together. Our mind takes a little while to figure out that connection, that touch is not a touch with another, helping us to reconnect with authentic connection. And perhaps, like me, your hands are tingling a bit from that impact, that aliveness that we have welcomed into our body with the simplest of movements and the energetic connection of touch. Your sun breath, opening up wide and high. Take the gaze up. Bring it all down. To what will you dedicate your practice today? Maybe you heard the sirens pass by the studio and you want to dedicate this practice or this moment, this breath to whoever is on the receiving end of that emergency. Or maybe for the emergency caretakers themselves. Or maybe there's something in your life today, in your body, in your family, in your community, that needs a little loving intention, a little extra care. Learning to be with these challenges, these obstacles, is the invitation to go deeper into an allowing state. Knowing that our work is not done, and yet life is not about perfection. Life is about observing and engaging, applying our wisdom with intention to do good, to cultivate authenticity and connection. Bring your hands together and roll the wrists. Let the forearms rock and roll. They might slide up and down, or you might rest your elbows at your side body in order to support the weight of your arms. Starting to move that circulation right up into the shoulders. Again, a bit of figure eight as you alternate from one side to the other. And then as that shoulder begins to even out, let them come together. Maybe even circling the elbows in front of you, alternating which one is on top. Release the hands behind and circle the head. Pause and then reverse. Pause as long as you need to feel like you can come back to a steadiness, an easiness. If you're feeling nauseous or dizzy, pause. Reset with a gaze around and set your bearings once again. Perhaps a block by your side. We're going to take this into a lateral fold. So the block can support your hand. So here's my block, a little bit higher than the floor, right? Or you could even come down to an elbow. As you move to one side and back upright. Same side, repeat. This is comfortable. You can add the head to look down, to look up, and over. Good. Other side. So again, start with just the tilt. Add the arm when it feels safe and ready. And add the gaze, the shifting of your drishti, the moving of your head. One more. All right, palms face together. We're going to take the arms straight up for an I. This is what we call the I shape. And then turn the palms open, spread them out. This is our Y. Draw the elbows down as if a W, from my fingers to my elbow, from my elbow to my head, down and up, right? So a W. To a T. Give yourself a hug. Oh. And open. And the opposite arm on top. Give yourself a hug. And a big sun breath high five. And release. Good, same thing. You ready? I, Y, and W, to T. Hug. And open. Hug. Open to the sun breath, do a high five at the top. And bring it down. All right, one more for good measure. I, Y, and W to T. Opening up the chest and the heart. Loving ourselves, encouraging and affirming. Finding connection. If you're in a seat, you might choose to reverse your posture. I don't have a lot of room to reverse because of my foot's in a cast, but just changing that a little bit, we're going to move right into our spine for some cats and cow. Now let's take that right into a twist. One hand crosses the center line. The lead hand might connect to the back or find a little support from your mat or the wall. Back through center and to your second side. Back and forth, just maybe 4 or 5 times. Evening out the breath. Using the bones to maintain your stability. Stacked for an alignment. But the muscles can shift and open up these joints. All right, box the elbows. I want to just rock. Right? The elbows can be high, the elbows could be low. Just using the weight of the arms to bring a little bit of centrifugal force into this twist of the torso. Done. All right, I'm going to recline onto my spine. You're welcome to stay upright if that feels more energetically appropriate for you. Right? We're going to sway the knees and the torso. So if you're upright, it might look something like this, right? Swaying the knees and the torso. If you come down like I am, knees and the elbows, something like this. Draw one knee in and one leg long. Again, you could be sitting upright or you could be reclined. That knee that comes in might like to sway a little bit or even circle and roll out the ankle. Reverse. And then straighten the knee. Could be to the sky. Could be long down your mat. Maybe you don't come to full straight. That's okay too. And then finding a pause for that leg, flex and point the toes. Figure 4 or a pigeon variation. So my bottom leg is going to stand and my top leg is going to cross that thigh, right? Getting this external rotation in the thigh, bend in the knee, and a flexion in the hip.
as I bring the leg forward, really intensifying the stretch for the outer butt cheek. As you release, set down both feet. Now this one will have to come onto your back body if you want to join me for the bridge lift. If you're upright, you want to stay in that cat and cow, feel free to do so. Rising through the hips, rolling up the spine and scrolling back down. I like to exhale as I rise. I find that it helps me activate more of the abdominal core and the orientation of the gluteus and the hamstring to support this movement, more so than the classic breath of inhale to rise. Three more this time if you'd like. Add the arms. I and Y and W and T. Lift and hug. And lower to T. Lift and hug. And lower to rest. Good. Second side, knee comes in. Rock. Extending that other leg out if available. And then circling the foot. I don't have a lot of movement, so at this point with a cast on, I've got mostly visualization happening, but it's starting to respond. Just a lovely reawakening. And from the ankle, you're going to move into the knee, up and down, out and long, whatever works. And then figure four, cross and draw it in. You can also use this bottom foot on the wall for a little more support and leverage, or even on a block, or just hold your upper leg with your hand. We don't want to fold the ankle, however. We want to keep the ankle in a neutral position. And I forgot to do the flex and point with my leg up to the sky. So if you want to do that here, you can do that here in the figure four, or you can come back to the leg up and flex and point again. Not surprising, since I don't have a lot of flexion and pointing in my foot. It's not surprising that I forgot it. But don't slack off on that stretch for the buttocks. Let it be a pause to linger in that stretch. And then allowing your body to unwind to perhaps a happy baby. The knees wide, the feet as if they were standing on the ceiling. You can let the weight of the hands bring the knees down towards the floor perhaps. One more bit of effort if you'd like. Could be as simple as chin to knees, head and toes down, just a couple of these, or you could go into a bit more of a leg lift, head lift. A little bit of abdominal work here.
And then taking it over to a cat and cow pose, hands and knees pose. We're gonna floss the spine, right? And so what does that mean? It means we're literally gonna tug on either end of the spine in turn, right? So as my hips drop forward, I'm slackening the lower body. So I'm gonna stretch the upper part of the spine by dropping my chin down. Then shifting back towards child's pose, toes tucked under is an option. As I slacken the lower body with this kind of flared of the tail, so the low back is slackening, I can lift the chin as this draws down and over. Right? Same thing. Lengthening up at the neck, slackening at the low back. Navel lifts, pubic bone pulls towards the navel, stretching down that top side. Chin looks up. 3 more. Good. All right, last little bit of effort here. Come on down to your belly for a Cobra Lift. Exhale, rise. Lower. Inhale and rest. Reset, relax. Exhale, rise. Elbows are in to maintain a neutral bearing of the shoulders so that arm doesn't add additional weight to the lift. We're focusing on this low to mid back, engaging to lift the head and shoulders. Exhale, squeeze belly, squeeze buttocks, squeeze back. 2 more. Release, make a forehead for your chin or make a pillow for your forehead or your chin. And rock the knees. And then rolling to Savasana. If there's any other final shapes that you wish to make, you are more than welcome to do that. Otherwise, welcome the pause, the stillness of rest. And your Savasana feels complete. Begin to reanimate the body, reignite the flame of effort, and will. Making your way back upright to an upright seat. As the hands come together once again to touch, reminding us not only of our self-care practice, but how our yoga practice invites us to connect with others, to touch all of humanity with compassion, with love, with an invitation to be one, to breathe, to move, and to rest. May you breathe deeply. May you move freely. May you labor lovingly. May you live vibrantly. Namaste.